you doing today? It is your girl Angel Akia, and today I am here with a story time. And I'm gonna be honest, just a disclaimer, I am nervous. Okay, I'm out of breath, I'm a little angsty. Because this story, y'all finna get in my business. I'm a little hokey pokey artichoke. That's why, girl, it's a little out of my comfort zone or whatever. But while I do the story time, I'm gonna be installing the wig. And again, this is not no tutorial. I say that every video, it's not a tutorial. So let's just get into the lickety splickety. I guess this is the introduction, if you will, the background to a little bit of my romantic judge. Like a little bit of my romantic judge. So right now I'm actually 21. I turned 22 April 12th. So you know what I mean? Like if y'all want to give me money, you can do that. You can do that. This took place when I was 19, actually. 19. This comb is always breaking. It's so dirty. But I love you. You're a classic. So basically what had happened was I had a friend, and we're gonna call my friend Golden. We're gonna call her Golden. And she was chatting, chilling, hanging with this, fellow. It was a particular dude she was talking to for like a couple of months or whatever. And one day in 2019, she was like, girl, come hang out. And I'm like, okay. Because at this point, I was going to school, but I was literally finna quit going to school and then start working. That's where I was at in my life or whatever, right? I was like, all right, I'll come meet your dude, like whatever, right? And she had told me like little stuff about him, but it wasn't no big ordeal. So I went there one particular day. We're hanging out. I'm like, okay, he's cool, whatever. Like that's cute for her. I'm happy for my girl, whatever. And his friend comes over, right? So that day we ended up playing Uno and Kaka and Kiki and having a good fun time. I'm gonna call the dude Golden was talking to. I forgot his actual name. Oh my God, I forgot his actual name. I'm gonna call him Slim. So the dude that Golden is talking to is Slim. And Slim's friend, we're gonna call him Snapple. Yeah. After I met them that day and we hung out and we did the Uno, that became a routine. We started going there every afternoon after my classes or before Golden had to go to work. And we would just be at his house, hanging out, chilling, vibing in this little shed that he had behind his crib. Even though Slim and Snapple was besties, they had like other friends or whatever. So like they will always talk about this one particular friend named Malik. And they would be like, oh, Malik is mad cool. Like he's hella good at, rapping and basketball and this, that, and the other. Mind you, I hadn't met Malik yet. Malik doesn't come around. Like he didn't come around that much at this particular time. Golden was telling me one day, like she kept saying like, I think you're gonna like Malik. Like Malik is a dude for you. And one thing about her, she never got in my business when it came to me, and my little honey bunches, because one, it was very few and far between for me, and I just don't connect with people like that. So it would be no reason for her to be like, you're gonna like this dude, because like literally it never worked out. Like my friend minded her business, and I was appreciative for that. But for whatever reason, like she was really pressing the issue, like, no, I think you're gonna like him. Like she was like, yeah, he's mad funny. And she was like, I'm not gonna say he's cute because like, I talked to his friend, but he looks good to other girls. And I was like, okay, thank you. I get the drift. One particular day it happens, and I'm spending the night at Golden's house, and it's a regular night, and we're trying to figure out like, if we're gonna go and hang with Slim and Snapple, because like I said, it was a routine. We was there like every day. I really shit you not, we was there every day. This is the thing, they told us to come over, but they didn't say like it's finna be hella people here. Which is because it was just like, like come over, like we having a friend over, like whatever. So I'm thinking, it's just finna be the regular Snapple, Slim, and maybe like some other random, you feel me, like somebody I don't know. So I got on a blue wig, a black You Matter hoodie, pink biker shorts, and burgundy furry slides. And it's like I'm not saying that's crazy, but for a room full of people That's kind of like, why would I give it up? Blue hair, pink shorts, burgundy slides? What are we talking about? I thought it was just for to be the homies. That's why I didn't care. Like, you see the way I come up here, I don't care. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna digress. And so we pull up. So Golden is like, girl, that's Malik's car. Like, he's here. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get him in. We get out the car. It's like we walk around Malik's car and it's just people. Okay, like, I'm dragging it. It was like 8 people, but that's still a whole lot of fucking people. And I'm looking like what the fuck who is these? Like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like, we supposed to be having a kickback, a little pond of rooster, and you bringing the hose out. Putting on 101 layers of this fucking glue. The hair just come out of that closure. You dragged it. Spray your brush. Wet your implement. Okay. Dry ass brushing y'all got going on. Breaking up all them damn curls. You know, wet that implement. Okay, so big into the motherfucking story. We come to the driveway, and like I said, it was like 8 people just standing there. Like, literally just standing there. So I'm like, okay, like, I don't know what's going on, but hey, you know, hey y'all. And they like, hey, da 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 da. So Golden points at this guy with this white shirt on, these jeans, and these cute little boots. Like, it was giving Chelsea boot. It was very cute. And she was like, that's Malik. And so I'm like, oh, all right, like, and mind you, it was dark, so I couldn't really see folks' face that well. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you, so I couldn't tell if I thought he was cute or not, but it was like, whatever. That day was the day that I ended up meeting Malik, and to be honest, that day is kind of a story time in and of itself. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So if y'all want more details on that, I can do another story time. You just gotta let it, you just gotta let me know. But so that is how we met. I had to give you the background. And mind you, I had already had Snapple's number, and we was like texting and doing iMessage games. However, in my eyes, that was the homie. I ain't know him yet. We were still chilling, cooling, whatever. Oh, also, Snapple and Malik are cousins. And so and so that's important, because of like what I'm gonna explain. It's important into the whatever. Now on to the actual nitty, the gritty, right? So it had been maybe like a couple of weeks, maybe like a week or 2, you know what I mean, since we had the little kickback ponder rooster, having a good hullabaloo with the gang. I had hung out with Snapple and Slim since the kickback, but I hadn't seen Malik, because like I said, he came around damn near never. One particular day, it was nighttime or whatever, and my girl Golden, you know, I think I was at her house again. I used to be at her house a whole fucking lot during this time of my life or whatever. So I was probably at her house again, and then we decided to go over to see Slim and Snapple. We pull up to Slim's house, and we see that Malik is there this time, and I'm in the car like, really? It was something about, and mind you, I gotta get into it on a story time about like the actual first time we met, but it was something about Malik. Like, it was something about that man. I can't really put a finger, an eye, a shoulder, leg, knee, toe on it, but it was something about him, and it sparked my interest. And one thing about me, when I'm interested, I goes and searches. So when I seen that he was there this day, I was like, oh, I get to explore my interests. We go in the shed and we in there chilling, and it's me, Slim, Snapple, Malik, and Golden. We're all chilling, kicking it, talking, or whatever. And mind you, it was like 8, 9 o'clock by this point. And then we was like, oh, we're gonna go get in the car real quick so we can go to the store, get some snacks, do our thing, do our meet. So we get in the car and we're riding, finna go to the store, right? Mind you, Malik is driving. I think Slim is up front, and it's me, Golden, and Snap in the back. He playing hard by TK. And girl, we flying down the street. I'm in the back of the car like, this is dangerous. Ooh. I actually really don't like when people drive crazy. I don't like when people speed. I don't like when people just do the most on the road. But for whatever reason, I felt so safe. I felt so at peace. I was like, wow, you saw some action. I was gonna... Nah, that's crazy. And so we go to the store, and mind you, he's like, I don't want to go on him, but he stole a bag of chips, and we leave from the corner store. We get back to in front of Slim's house, and we chilling in the car. I think Slim went and got his skateboard. So me, Golden, Malik, and Snapple was outside of the car chilling, and Slim is riding around on his skateboard fucking around. They're like, do y'all want to play Ding Dong Ditch or do y'all want to go to the graveyard? And I'm like, absolutely not the graveyard. What the fuck is going on? And they're like, no, you know what we could do? We could go climb the top of that school. And I'm like, now this is an adventure suit for me, and it like climb the top of the school. Are we the boxcar children? That sounded so fun, and I was chilling. Now, mind you, at this time, I didn't know this was an illegal thing to do. So we all start walking to get ready to go to the school to do our thing, right? We was walking, playing around, talking shit. It was a really fun time. Like, I cannot lie, it was a fun time. Slim and Snapper was walking on the right side of the street, and me, Malik, and Golden was walking on the left. He was talking about how he thought Cardi B was better than Nicki Minaj. And granted, I'm not in here to get into that discussion. I respect both of them women. But at the time, I was like, let me rap this monster verse. I didn't choose a side. But all I was saying was Monster by Nicki Minaj is Monster by Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, that's all I was trying to say. And so I was like, so you're telling me pink wig, thick ass, giving whiplash, I think big get cat makeup, like you're telling me that doesn't resonate for you? That doesn't do something for you? We come closer to the school, so now we're all walking in a big group. And I don't remember what the fuck we was talking about, but I know we were still talking about Nicki Minaj. Because me and Golden out of nowhere started rapping Itty Bitty Piggy. So we get close to the school now, and mind you, like, this is a school. This is a school. So we walk into the parking lot, and it's a big building. Like, it's a big building, right? So we walk in, and we get to like this, I don't even know, like this in the cut ass area. I think it was like literally the back of somebody's classroom. I don't fucking know. And so they're like, yeah, we finna climb that. And I'm like, what you mean climb, baby? Because I barely can give you 10 push-ups and you want me to climb a building? Am I Spider-Man? Is that me? Because it's not. Okay, I was like, well, if y'all go first, like maybe y'all can pull me up and I can do my best by my legs, because like I cannot give you climb. And they was like, yeah, we got you. So they climb up and then they pull me up. By this point, I had barely talked to Snapple. Like, we had our little like interactions, but I had mostly talked to Malik and Golden that literal entire time. They pulled Golden up, and then fucking Malik just hops up there. Mind you, this wasn't no little itty bitty. It was like, had to be at least 12 feet worth of building height. So I'm kind of like, how the hell? But hey, I wasn't complaining. So we get to the top of the school or whatever, and we sitting on like this ledge, and we all sitting in a row. And I was just like, this is so cool. I was like, this is so fun. I had so much fun. I had a plan. I had the plan. I just need the platform. Okay. There's a clear spot to sit betwixt Snapple and Slim, or I can sit beside Malik. And I was thinking, like, now I don't know if Snapple was feeling me, because to be honest, I didn't think he was. And I knew they was related. But it's like, you wouldn't really put no pedal to the metal. It's kind of like, by this point, we just friends. So I'm thinking, like, I'm gonna sit beside Malik. I'm just interested in him at the moment. You feel me? Like, I'm interested in him at the moment. I chose to sit betwixt Malik. You feel me? I sat beside Malik, and we was all talking, kiki and kaka and cuckooing. He like, yeah, like my next one, you feel me? Like, I'm gonna get her preggies, this and that, and all this other thing. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, dang, so you gonna get her pregnant and leave her? And he was like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna leave her, but like, I'm definitely finna get her pregnant, this and that. And I was like, yeah, this conversation is crazy. Like, what are you talking about? But so like, I was still interested. Because I didn't like him in that way. I was just like, you know, I'm interested. I gotta figure out why I gotta figure it out. Like, I don't know. Blues Clues, I'm not. Like, I gotta figure it out. I don't know. I didn't get enough clues from that. If y'all see that track out, we're gonna act like it ain't. Slim was like, oh, do y'all want to see the garden? And I'm like, yeah, I want to see the garden. But Golden had already been to the school with them. So she was like, yeah. And she just ran off to go see the garden. And then Malik had to go pee. And so he, I guess, went to like the side of the building or whatever to like pee off the side. I have no idea, girl. That was not none of my business. And so when he left, it was just Slim and Snapple and me. And so Slim was like, I'm gonna go with Golden. It was just me and Sir Snapple. You feel me? It was just me and Sir Snapple. Snapple was like a cool person, Like, he's a cool dude or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna take nothing from that man, you know, in that regard. He is a cool person. But, like, he's very, like, if you want to talk to him, you have to start the conversation first. He just wasn't the aggressor. Like, he was very relaxed when it came to, you know, but, like, I could tell he would want to talk to a nigga. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. Okay, so basically, I feel like I found out a better way to explain it. So it's like, he's one of those kind of people where it's like they want to engage in the conversation, but, like, they're kind of like nervous or whatever type shit. Because it would be like, he would be in the mix and he would say stuff and he would be having very relaxed vibes. But, like, he just wouldn't, I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. But then when I would be like, hey, like, what do you think, Snapple? He would be like, oh, da, 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 da. And it would just be mad talking and, like, be mad, like, you know, in my mix. But, like, I feel like he was just, like, nervous or some shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this helped. I'm sorry. So I was like, oh, how are you doing? And, like, as soon as I said, how are you doing? He literally turned his full body to me. Like, if he was finna give me, like, hell, like, the full attention. So I was like, all right. We start having a conversation. Mind you, we didn't even get 0.5 seconds in. And then Slim came out of nowhere and was like, I thought you was going to see the garden. Literally cut off Snapple and everything. And so I'm like, I could see the garden. I'm like, yeah, I could see the garden. And because I was literally just having a conversation with Snapple, I turned to Snapple and I'm like, do you want to go with me to see the garden? Like, we could go together. So that way, if he wanted to still keep talking to me, he could keep talking to me, but I could see the garden. Because I'm on my adventurous shit right now. Like, I actually wanted to see the garden, right? And when we started walking, Slim was walking in between me. And so it was me, Slim, and Snapple, right? Mind you, we're still on the roof. And I see Malik walking towards us. I guess he had finished peeing. Because when I tell you, this wasn't even like 3 minutes between him leaving and then us walking. It wasn't even 3 minutes. And as soon as he reaches me, he like literally turns on his feet. He hits a whole about face. Like, y'all peep the RTC reference, you know what I mean? And he turns around right beside me. And he was like, oh, like, what are y'all doing? Da da da. And I'm like, oh, we're like walking to the garden, right? We get close to the garden and I see Golden standing there looking at the garden or whatever. And so Slim like runs to get close to her because that's his shorty. Like, that's his shorty, as he should. It was me, Snapple, and Malik. And Malik was talking to me heavy. I'm talking about, like, he was really like leading that conversation. Well, me and him, right? So I'm like, oh, I heard y'all be rapping, da 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 da. And then they was like, no, like, well, who said that? Da, da, da. I'm like, y'all be rapping, fuck out of here. I'm like, bro, give me a 16. Like, give me a 16. Why y'all acting like that? Give me a 16. Fuck. Snapple was like, no, like acting all nervous and shy. And I'm like, nigga, I already know you. Like, why are you doing that? Mind you, right? Anytime Snapple was trying to get like close to me physically, that man Malik would come in and like stand in betwixt us. Like, I was literally peeping with my own eyes. I was like, oh, they finna tussle. So we get to the garden, and the garden is basically like the middle of the school, right? So mind you, we're on the roof, so it's kind of like a square, and then it's like a drop. And the garden's in the middle, but it's like this big ass tree that like it extends over like the ceiling or whatever, the roof. And it was so cute. I cannot lie, that shit was so cute. Golden and Slim we gave them their space because everybody knew what was up with them. We gave them their space to be great. You know what I mean? Me, Malik, and Snapple sat down by the garden, a little bit ways away from Slim and them, but still, like, we could see them. They literally were not far at all. And I'm still trying to get these niggas to rap because I'm like, bro, rap. Like, what's going on? So I'm like, let me start. Let me do the first one. Because y'all know I be rapping. Y'all literally know I be rapping on here. So Snapple and Malik were smiling. They were smiling so hard. I was like, these niggas is nervous. These niggas is nervous. But they were smiling hard. I was like, fuck it, I'll go a cappella. So I was like, 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, 4. And then I was like, go! Trying to get them to jump in. And they did not jump in, bro. So we was all laughing and shit. I decided to get up because I wanted to see the rest of the roof. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, how often is it that I'm on the top of a school roof? That never happens. And I was sitting beside Malik. When I sat down, I was sitting beside Malik. And then Snap was sitting on the other side of Malik. Mind you, Malik was putting in dumb work this day, like, and all right. When I got up to look, mind you, I didn't hear it at the time, but my friend Goldie, she had filled me in. But when I got up to leave and look at what the fuck was going on, apparently Malik was like, no, don't leave, come back, because he was feeling me. But I didn't hear that at the time. So when I was walking back from where I was, I decided to make like a brief observation. Or whatever. And I was like, yo, like, Malik, you look kind of like small. He was like, what you mean? And like the way he was sitting on the ledge of the building, and because of like the angle I was at, he looked real shrunk up. He was like, oh, I'm still cute though, right? And I'm like, I said, what? And he was like, I'm still cute though, right? And I was like, I mean, I guess. Girl, I guess we done. Now, I could put some makeup on this, but I'm probably literally after this, I'm probably gonna hop in my bed. So it ain't no reason for me to do that. And like I said, this ain't no tutorial. If it was, I would have cared more. But I do not care. I peeped Snapple and his whole face. Like, I'm not saying he looked mad or whatever the fuck, because he didn't look like pissed off, but his face was just like, he was kind of like, you know when you smiling, but you're kind of like, the fuck is going on? It gave that. And so then I turned my head to the left, and everybody's getting up and leaving. And I'm like, damn, y'all just was going to leave me and not say anything? Like, that's crazy. Like, literally, Slim and Golden was like all the way down the fucking roof. And it was just me and Malik damn near. And I'm like, okay, like, leave us. Fuck us. Just whatever, I guess. So I hop up real quick, and I'm trying to, like, catch up and shit. But, like, I'm clumsy. And, like, literally, we're hopping off of, like, little ledges of different roofs to get to the ground. And I'm like, y'all are like zooming, right? Slim and Golden was way ahead of us, and then Snapple was ahead of me and Malik, but they weren't head to head. And then Malik was ahead of me, so I was literally in the back just chilling. And I was like in my head, like, now y'all know I got anxiety, so I'm in my head like, if I die, like, God's plan, like, it is what it is. Yes, bring the name of Jesus, it is what it is. I start hopping, like trying to catch up to them, hopping off the ceilings, and I'm like slipping and shit, and I'm like, oh, like, I'm like, nah, this ain't looking good for me. Like, this is not good for me, right? So then this dude, Malik, he put on his little cape and turned around and saved me. He turned around or whatever and came back to where I was. And girl, he put his little hand down and was like, he was like, huh. And I grabbed his hand and I jumped off the ledge all safe and shit. And I was like, that's how you clear it. As soon as he did that, I was like, oh, he got me. I ain't gonna lie. Because Snapper left me for dead. He left me for dead. We get to the end, and it's time for us to jump off the big height. The dudes just hop down. They just hop down, and it's whatever. And they just hop down, right? But like, it's one of those things where you have to turn and like wean yourself down, because if you just hop off, you're probably gonna break a leg. And I'm not even being funny, like, you probably would have got fucked up. And so it's my turn to go, because me and Goldie, we was the only two left up there, and we was trying to figure out like who was finna go first. And I was like, I'ma just go, like, fucking I'ma just go. And so I sit on the ledge, and like I sit regular, like if I was sitting in a chair, like if I was finna slip off that way, right? So as soon as I sit down, they on the ground like, no, don't do that, don't fall like that, you're gonna hurt your toes. And I'm like, you guys, like, I was like, I'm just trying to catch my breath, I'm not finna jump like that, what the hell? I turned around and I was like, I'm scared, like, oh my god, like, I'm scared. And so I just was like, fuck it. And so Golden was helping me, she was holding my hands and she was helping me, and then I was just like, fuck it, because I was like, bro, if I fall and I'm, it's, hey, so I fall, and then I felt everybody catching me, like, Slim, Snapple, and Malik caught me, like, they all caught me, and I was like, okay, all right. So I got to the ground, and I'm catching my breath and shit. I'm hunched over trying to breathe, just trying to remember, like, that I'm alive and shit like that. And so they like, are you good? Da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, thank you. When Goldie went to fall, mind you, I'm expecting everybody to help her, because literally everybody helped me. And so I'm just standing there like, and she's finna jump off. The only person like ready to catch Golden was Slim. So I'm looking at Snapple and I'm looking at Malik like, y'all not gonna help my girl? So I was like, all right, like, let me do it, no big deal. So I come in and I'm like, jump. So me and Slim catch her, and then Slim and Snap will take off. And I'm like, damn, like it's really fuck me and Golden heavy tonight. Like it's fuck us heavy. We catch her, whatever. And then there was like this big hill that you had to go down and then bustle, right? Because we were trespassing in the school, so we really weren't supposed to be here. Like I said, Slim and Snapple, they booked it. Honestly, Malik, they all booked it out of there. And I'm like, y'all are leaving me and Golden in the dust. They ran down the hill, and they ran down the hill mad quick, busted it right and all this. Mind you, these is athletic ass niggas. So in my mind, I'm like, they cleared the hill. I'ma clear the hill. Like, what are we talking about? I start going down the hill, right? Mind you, I'm going mad quick. Low key, I start flying down this hill. I'm like, okay, all right, like this is, oh, I'm picking up speed. Like, and in front of the hill was the woods. And literally, the closer I got to the bottom of the hill, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to stop. Like, I'm just gonna have to run into the woods. Because I'm like, I'm picking up heavy speed. Literally, as this is running through my mind, I'm getting closer to the hill. I'm like, nah, like I'm just about to run into these trees, and I'm just about to be running through the woods. I don't know. Malik comes out of nowhere. I'm talking knight and shining nigga. He come out of nowhere and he grabbed me, right? I get to the end of the hill, he grabbed me like these. I was going dumb fast, so when he grabbed me, we started spinning. We spun around kind of like whoop, like one little sesh before he had stopped. And I'm not gonna make it a Watt Pad moment, but the wind was blowing through my hair. So I stopped spinning. He asked me, like, yeah, you okay? And I'm like, I'm good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. He was like, yeah, for sure. And then he booked it again. And I'm like, why are these niggas so consistent on leaving us? Like, literally, what the fuck is going on? So then Golden starts running down the hill, and she going dumb quick, too. I'm like, I don't know how these niggas did this. So I'm like, run into my arms. I catch her. We spin just how me and Malik did. And then we start leaving the school, right? And Malik ended up walking back with us because he peeped like these niggas was literally leaving us in the dust. And I'm like, I've never been here. Like, what the hell's going on? So then we meet them in front of the school and we start talking about Halloween and all the things. And we having a good kiki. And this point, I'm standing beside Malik because he just couldn't come up off me. Then we started talking about music and beats. And by this point, I was fully interested in this dude. He was like, I think Kanye is one of the best producers. I was like, yeah, Kanye. And I was like, and also Tyler, Creator, though, he's kind of up there. And he was like, hell yeah, Tyler's up there. And I was like, you fuck with Tyler? And he was like, yeah, I fuck with Tyler. So we having a good ponderooster about music, going back and forth. But to be honest, music talk is really how you get me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if we have the same music, I'm on, like, I don't know, man. Snapple by this point now is walking beside Malik and I because I think he's picking up that, like, oh, he like her and she like him. And this ain't gonna go good for me because I like her and that's my cousin. The fuck. So this is what I'm thinking is going in. This is just what I'm pondering. This is what I'm assuming. I don't know, but this is what I'm assuming. The closer we get to the house, I'm like, I don't got much time. Like, I gotta figure out a way to get this nigga number. I gotta figure out a way. So I'm like, oh, like, what are your favorite playlists to play? And he was like, oh, like, I got this playlist and I got this and that. And I was like, well, I'm always open for some new music. Granted, I literally be asking for music. Not all the time, but like I ask for music a cool amount of times. Like I give a fuck about music, so it's whatever. So asking for a playlist was kind of like a calm radar, but a cool way to get a number, right? So you guys gotta think. I was like, well, send me some playlists because I'm always open for any music. And he was like, oh yeah, I could definitely do that. And then out of nowhere, Snapple starts talking about something else. Like he switches the conversation. And I'm like, you don't want me to get this man's number bad. And I'm like, not be in competition with you over this man. Like, what are we like? We get back in front of Slim's house or whatever, and Slim gets his skateboard. He's in front of his house skateboarding. So now by this point, I'm like, nah, like I gotta get his number before the night is over. I got to. Like, I'm not making it obvious, but in my mind, I'm like, I gotta get this man a number because he's never here. You feel me? So then I'm talking to Malik and we're having a cool conversation about, think about music some more. And then out of nowhere, Snap was like, yo, Malik, you know what's so cool? It's cool that we're cousins. And like, it's like, the way he said cousin, it's like, I feel like I know, like, you know how you just know what you know? I just knew what I knew. And I was like, not him trying to let niggas know that they're related. Like, if I'm off limits to Cuzzo, or if Cuzzo's off limits to me. Because I'm like, we're friends. Like, we're friends. Like, I feel you, but we're friends. And you haven't expressed any kind of anything to me. So Malik was like, yeah, you know, like, that's cool, whatever, like, that's cool, da-da. But anyway, and started back talking to me because, like, what are you talking about? So then Goldie and Slim come back over, and we ended up having a whole another conversation. And then we ended up running over her vape pen, which, you know what? I don't know. That day was a day. And girl, at the end of it, I didn't even get this man's number. But I did end up getting it eventually, and that's another story for another fucking day. What are we thinking? This was a light story, but I feel like I needed to tell this part so I could tell other kind of things that I had going, because like I said, this ain't really no big ordeal. I don't really have hella relationship situations. I don't know what I'm calling this video, but you definitely watch this video. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below, y'all. Like, thank you so much for watching this story. I hope you enjoyed the wig install. Like I said, it wasn't a tutorial. This is actually the wig from when I did the closure to 360 frontal, and if you want that video, it's linked down below. It was when I was trying to do tutorials, so I had my tutorial voice going on. But like now, I filmed a video. If you watch it, we got it there. That's it. That's all I got for you today. I love you so much. I thank you for watching. I'm so nervous. I'm nervous to post this, but you know, tell me what y'all think. Like, y'all are getting in my business. Y'all are getting in my beeswax. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Thank you for 200 subscribers. Hold on. I cannot forget that. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and enjoying your time here, and I hope you guys continue to subscribe and continue to enjoy your shenanigans here. I wish you the very best of days, nights, or whatever the fuck it is, wherever the hell you are. And like I say, and like I always say, be kind to others, and at the very least, be kind to yourself, because you deserve it. Bye.